This episode is brought to you by Push Messaging Gods Urban Airship. They can be found at urbanairship.com. And by ThinkNear. Their location score platform delivers the most accurate location targeting available on mobile. Visit them at locationscore.com.
This is the Mobile App Minute, a weekly look at how to market your mobile app in a noisy world. Here are your hosts, Rob Woodbridge and Peggy Ann Souls.
Welcome back to the Mobile App Minute. My name is Rob Woodbridge from Untether.tv.
And I'm Peggy Ann Saltz over at Mobile Groove.
All right, Peggy, it's that time of year again when the countdown is on. Yeah, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I'm actually talking about the holiday season, and they are nearly upon us, if you can believe it. But if you're an app developer, this is also a critical time for your app because the holiday season is the time of year when user acquisition shows a huge increase. Since we are all enjoying some time off and we get to download apps to our heart's content, and maybe some of you are actually buying a nice new iPad or new tablet or new smartphone. And so the first thing that they're going to do is jump online and download some application. But it's not all good news, is it, Peggy?
Well, Rob, I mean, it's partially good news. I'd say, there's a lot of excitement. We're downloading apps. We're examining what's possible in the App Store. We're exploring the apps there. But at the same time, user acquisition costs are also going to go through the roof because that's a great time, a great and very competitive time to acquire new users. So it's a little bit of both. It's interesting that also the analytics companies, the App Store analytics companies report, and I quote, click-through rates build throughout the holiday season and peak on New Year's Day when CTRs can jump as much as 37% over the yearly average. So obviously there's a lot going on. Get in on the holiday spirit and make certain your app rockets as well to the top of those ranks, but also keep in mind that your user acquisition costs are also going to skyrocket.
And what I found, especially around Christmas time, is all the big brands. Like, this is the challenge. All the big brands like EA and everybody who gets involved in this discount their products down to like $1. So I've seen this where the top 10 of every app is owned by a big brand, and especially in the gaming world. And it's the top 10 is EA, all EA brands, because they have that clout. So when Madden goes on sale for $1 for the iPad, it just rockets up the charts, and you have no chance of competing against that at this time. So that's the tough part.
Yeah, I mean, it's competitive. And you're going to see a lot of burst campaigns. I mean, you're going to have the likes of King and Supercell just buy up everything around the holiday period because, it's the time. And so that's why, you have to prepare for the holiday period. I mean, how do you fight? I guess the question is, how do you fight smart during the holidays? And this is also where I want to bring in the importance, as I always do, of data and business intelligence, because for me, it's all about the analytics. You can fight smart if you harness the data. That's like the great equalizer. That's the good news. It's like, yes, there are large companies, but, follow their model. They're hiring armies of statisticians and people in analytics. Okay, you can't do that, but at least make use of the tools at your disposal. I mean, make that effort. And this is where I want to bring to your attention the iOS 8 tracker from Fixu, a data-driven mobile ad tech company. And just to show you this, it shows you data from millions of iPhones and iPads running Fixu client apps as they happen in real time, and the map updates every 10 seconds. Now, that's pretty cool, but really what we're talking about here is business intelligence and business advantage for your company. So this gives app developers a good idea of the momentum around iOS 8, and the site is interactive, so you can select a range to zoom in on key regions and markets. And again, a business intelligence tool that you should be making use of. The main benefit here, I think, is that it helps app developers prioritize their efforts by understanding the trends in the Apple ecosystem. So the questions you should be asking yourself, how long should you support iOS 5 or 6? So you can see the answer there. Or how long should it be until you update and take advantage of iOS 8? And what about different devices? Should you continue to develop for older iPads, iPhones? How long? Again, all the answers to these questions you can find there, as well as other sources, but it's just one I really want to mark for your attention. So, back to your point, absolutely. This is the period that you can fight smart and win big. provided you plan and take advantage of all the opportunities and all the mechanisms at your disposal to raise your visibility in the app stores.
And I think the big thing here is that the clock is ticking. You can't wait until the last minute to do this. Black Friday is around the corner, and that kicks off the holiday season. I can't believe we're talking about this already. I'm just not ready. I'm not prepared for this, but we are, and you have to think that way. And it's also highly likely that iTunes Connect will also take its own break and shut down for a little bit as well. It takes a little vacation. Last year, it went through the process, it went down for 48 hours, where there was no approvals, no updates to pricing, no nothing. You couldn't change anything that was processed in the App Store. And then once it came back online, it was weeks again before you got approved and things got modified. So pay close attention to that, right, Peggy?
Absolutely. You have to plan. This is literally, this is the timing for our show, Rob. Literally, this is like the last week. You have to do this like now. This is really it. Clock is ticking. If you don't make it at this point, then just mark it up and say, okay, New Year's resolution, 2015, I'll do it right. 2014 was a learning period. I'm sorry it's that harsh. But, there is still some time. And, you look around in the internet and the blogosphere, and you're seeing a lot of different blogs about, how to prep for these last critical days, literally last critical week. And so that's why I'd like to bring attention and highlight the new ebook from Fixu, which is titled Top Tips and Techniques for Holiday App Marketing. And it's chock full of simple, essential tips to get the best results because, as we said, this is a very competitive period. And it's also when you have massive opportunity to win big, and to also capture, lots of new users, lots of loyal users. And I was very impressed by this ebook, which is why I dedicated my weekly radio show over at Mobile Presence on the Webmaster Radio Network to it. And there I interviewed Jeremy Sacco, the manager of content and communications at Fixu, for a full 30 minutes. So we don't want to go into that now, but if you want to, check it out, you can get a deep dive there. But for now, what I want to do is just limit to top 3 tips out of this great ebook. And I also like the design. It really gets you in the festive spirit, doesn't it? And sets it straight. It's just very practical, very short, very easy to read. So here we go. Top 3 tips, all right? So number 1, plan your budget and pace yourself. Because yes, we are getting, as you said, Rob, it's that last critical time, but the interesting thing is that the holiday period also extends more into the new year than it used to for whatever reason. So, you're looking at volume, but you also have to look at, maintaining your momentum and not losing steam because, you're looking at a season that can go up into and beyond the new year. And I want to bring you some data that drives that home, Fixu data that tells us about the user acquisition prices at this point, another reason why you need to pace yourself. So you look at the charts for 2012 and 2013, and you can bet it's going to be the same in 2014 as well. In fact, latest figures from Fixu reveal that the cost associated with retaining a loyal user, that is someone who opens up an app more than 3 times or 3 times or more, is at an all-time high right now. In fact, this metric has jumped 21% to reach $2.25 in September 2014, so not that long ago, up from $1.86 in August. Year over year, that figure has risen by 34%, and as I said, we're sure to see a skyrocket in the holiday season. So it's going to be a very rewarding time, but also a very challenging time. Number 2, get with the spirit. This is a fun time. So it's a great time to update your creative, your content, your virtual currency, whatever, to a holiday theme. And it's not just about, having fun. It's also, there's a business reason behind it. One, it's obviously cute, okay? But on the other hand, it's also a way to sort of get back up and get into that visibility that's either going to get you, reviewed in the app stores because you have a holiday theme. There's going to be holiday theme lists, or, you're going to get the attention again of the reviewers. So they're going to say, hey, let's do our top 10 holiday apps or what have you. And, you want to be considered for that list as well. So 1, it's about, just keeping with the times, but 2, it's also possibly about capturing some important eyeballs in those reviews. And we know that's the lifeblood of your app. I don't need to tell you that. Reviews are what's going to make it. Wouldn't that be great to start off the new year with some great reviews, right? And number 3, and I think this is important and often overlooked because the whole idea is, yes, reach out to me, but also reactivate me. So it's a time when I don't know how it is with you, Rob, but I'm sitting around a little bit of time to kill, a little downtime during the holidays, which is cool. So you chill, and you are probably going to be like many users and take a look at your phone and say, I downloaded these apps. Do I really use them? It's a little bit of house cleaning. I don't know if you do that. Maybe it's the female in me, but I'll tend to say, oh, do I really use it? Do I want it that much? It's taking up space, and we have lots of reports about how many apps we can have on our screen. It's not a lot. And that's the moment I said, so we're taking stock of everything, and we're taking stock of apps. So that's the time to reach out and say, hey, I'm here. Do an update over the holidays. In fact, apps that do an update, they see, and I quote, as much as 4 times, they see their users increase 4 times faster and report more sessions per user. So it's a great time to update your app. For one, it gets my attention. 2, you're going to encourage me to engage. And the other point is reactivate me. So even if you don't have something new to say about yourself, use that moment and say, this is the time to reach out to me using everything you have. So it's email, it's push notifications, it's whatever channel I want to engage on, whatever channel, of course, I've given you permission to engage with me on in the first place. But again, staying top of mind in this very, very critical season ahead, because it's very competitive and there's going to be a lot competing for my attention. You want to make certain you're top of mind.
I love it. These are great tips. These are unbelievable tips, and obviously very timely, because you only have a number of weeks left before this actually expires. Right? You can come back to this episode a year from now, but why not take advantage of this kind of stuff right now? So here, what I've done is, this is episode number 22. Episode number 22 of the Mobile App Minute. If you go to untether.tv, you should see this right there. In the show notes are all the links that you need in order to be able to get everything that you need from this episode. That includes the link to Webmaster Radio, so you can listen to the long interview that Peggy did, as well as the ebook from Fixu and all of the trimmings. Plus, a little bit of festivities in there as well. So why don't you just go to untether.tv, episode number 22 of the Mobile App Minute, and you can actually get everything that you need in order to be able to make sure that you're doing what you need to do in order to succeed this Christmas season and beyond. Peggy, thank you for doing this again. We'll see you next time for the Mobile App Minute. Thanks, Peggy.
Thanks, Rob.
Don't forget to come back next week for our next episode.